Another thing is that if they open the sluices, if the water is too high, first thing what's going to do, they're going to affect the water quality. As you can see, the water is quite clear, which means the visibility is pretty good and the fish can see the small insects, small imitations of insects that you're going to use. If they open the sluices, lots of times the water visibility goes down, and also the water is going to be too strong and it's definitely going to have an influence in your fishing. Also, another important point is air pressure. If there's a low pressure moving in, it has affected the fishing. They've moved down, they stopped feeding. Another thing is cold fronts moving in. If there's a cold front moving in, normally with a southern wind blowing, they also affect the activity of the fish, and it might decrease your catching. Just another very important point that I want to introduce to you is that this type of habitat, as I described for you, with these type of riffles, normally is very good habitat for the yellowfish to spawn in. We call this the spawning beds, as it's got gravel bottoms. And it's very important that if you're catching in this type of water and you see spawning fish, to avoid them. Don't even try casting at them. And the biggest thing is don't wade through those areas where the fish are actively spawning. What I want to show you guys now is just the basic needs that you're going to need as a fly fisher fishing the Vaal. First of all, you're going to need a decent rod. Normally a 5-6 weight in the Vaal. As for the smaller weights are a bit too weak to pull in your yellows and you waste too much energy on the fish and on yourself. You're going to need a fly line, which we're going to fit your rod and also your reel. Then another thing you're going to use is a wading stick, which is very important in the Vaal, especially in an area where you've never waded before. It just helps you from breaking bones and bumping toes. You don't need to buy one, you can just cut one from a normal piece of wood, or you can even use a broomstick for that. Another thing is quick dry clothing. As you can see, quick dry pants and quick dry shirt. And it's also important to use the long sleeves as it also protects you from the sun. Wading boots are very important in the Vaal, as there's lots of rocks and you don't want a bruised ankle when wading through the water. There are a lot of different vest packs on the market available. This is just one specific one that I like to use, and it's also important to keep things from hanging loose, as it might tangle with your fly line. Some of the basic needs that you're also going to use is decent Polaroid glasses. It protects your eyes and it also makes it much more easier to spot the fish in the water. And then also a hat. Protect you from the sun and also from flies in your ears. Before we get to the fly box, just to know that there's lots of things that you can put in these bags, like nippers and tweezers and strike indicators. But we'll go straight to the fly box.